Hey everybody, this is Protodead and I'm coming back at you with another one of my podcasts. Today I've got Sins, or Sindorii. He's a full-time family man and does some gaming on the side, and he's uploaded some stuff from YouTube and has streamed on Twitch before. Hey Sins, appreciate you being here with me and having a talk.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, cool, man. Right on. So, how you feeling? You just finished dinner, right?
Yeah, just finished dinner, cooked some burgers. Feeling pretty good. Don't really have anything planned. Just relaxing, living day
Mm-hmm.
by day.
For sure. For sure. What'd you have for dinner?
I had some burgers and grilled corn and some French fries. Not too bad.
Cool. That sounds pretty neat. How did you grill the corn?
So I it was actual like full corn on the husk and everything, so I had to clean it off first. And then we get butter and we butter up the whole thing, salt and pepper, and wrap it in foil. Then in my grill, I have two racks. Like I have the first rack that's like the bottom rack, that's like the main grill. And then there's a rack above that. So I just set the corn up on the upper rack and let it cook for like an hour. And then I throw in the burgers. And it's at 425 on my grill. And then cook them, pull the burgers off, then pull the corn out. And they're fucking perfect every time.
Wow, that's cool.
I don't know how, but it is.
Do you how long do you keep the food on and stuff? Like, do you have it timed out?
Yeah, it has a thermometer in it. I have a Traeger, so it's like a pellet feeder. Just press a button. It's pretty nice. And then once it gets to temp, it sends a message to me and lets me know. So I go out there and just pull it off. It's pretty cool.
Cool. Yeah, that's neat. When I do burgers, I overcook the burgers every time, which probably isn't the greatest.
Word.
Yeah. Pretty much what I do is I put the patties on the grill and I set my timer for 9 minutes, and then I go out there and turn them 90 degrees to get some hash marks on them, and then after another 9 minutes I flip them, and then 9 minutes turn, and then 9 minutes and done. But
Yeah.
that's on like low medium heat.
Yeah, that's burgers are like you can get a burger anywhere, but when you have a well cooked burger, you can't fucking beat it, man. It's nice.
Yeah.
Real
Yeah,
nice.
I agree. We had fish and potatoes and broccoli and cheese tonight.
Nice. That
Yeah, it
sounds
wasn't too
really
bad.
fucking good. What kind of
Yeah.
fish?
Salmon.
Oh
Regular,
man, hell yeah.
just big old like the whole half of a fish.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. I love salmon, man.
Yeah, it's like it's pretty easy going. Like, it's not, I don't know, too overpowering or whatever. I mean, it's just it's a pretty good middle of the road sort of fish meat.
Yeah, for sure.
And then when I do whole, like, new potatoes, I guess is what they are. They're like
Yeah,
little bitty, like golden colored maybe.
yeah,
Yeah, I just boil those until they feel like they're kind of getting soft in the middle at least, and then butter and then seasoning and kind of toss them around and get all that stuff all over the potatoes. They turn out pretty good.
yeah. Definitely. I fucking dude, potatoes. I swear to God, I must be like some part Irish because I will legit eat every type of fucking potato on the earth, man.
Yeah,
Love it
yeah.
all.
It's almost like Mexican food with the tortillas. It's like it's just a different combination. Like, it's the same fucking food, but it just looks different because they wrapped it up differently.
Right. Yeah, man, I love all kinds of grilling though. Since I've gotten this Traeger, it's really kind of taken over. It's so fucking easy, man. All I have to do is press a button. It was a bitch at first with the cost of it. It was way too expensive, but I will say how much time I am saving throughout the years, it will add up, but it's just like being able to fork out that money and being okay with yourself, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yep.
it kind of hurts having to pay for a grill that much, but it's nice, man. I like not having to start a fire each time. That's probably the biggest thing was with me was like having to start the fire. So it's a
Oh,
relief.
so you say it's pellet fed. How does that work?
It's like I don't know how they exactly make the pellets, but I know they get like the wood and they like bust it down with some type of chemicals and then turn it into like these little pellets. They look like little rabbit turds.
Mm-hmm.
And you feed it into the machine and it just like feeds it like a conveyor belt. No, not a conveyor belt. It's called a auger. This is
Yeah.
the correct term. It augs it. So it's like a corkscrew type screw mechanism that feeds it to it.
Yeah.
And then it just heats it underneath, and you can set it to a certain temp, so it can go from 170 to fucking 500. It's quite nice. That was the only thing I will say is I will never be able to have the taste of a actual natural wood burning smoker, but I can get fucking close
Hmm.
as I can.
I'm cool with it, man. Like whatever technology saves some time, and then you can, spend it doing other things that are important.
Yeah, I think it's just like how it was with computers and consoles and shit. When it first comes out, it's like the hottest shit on the block and it costs so much. But a few years down the road, prices come down.
Yeah, like laser
Everybody
disc.
can get one. Yeah.
Yeah, or CDs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Well, I'm just using gas grill. That's what I use. It's
Nice.
pretty easy. I just swap the tanks out at the gas station, or if I'm heading that way, I'll take the tank in and get it filled at the tractor supply shop.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah! So, any new developments in your world, your personal life?
Uh, no, not really a whole lot. The main thing is just our kids do, and less than 2 months now, we're going on week 6. 6 weeks
Mm,
away.
6 weeks
So
away, man.
yeah, kids started school, or Avery started school today, so it's nice. Finally,
Mm,
have the house back to ourselves for a time
yeah, when you can.
when you can.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool, man. Back to school, got a mask up or whatever.
Yeah, that's the. I'm not really sure on like the whole thing at school because like they're at first they were trying to like cancel school or only do school half the time, and it's like, man, we can't afford to do that. Our kids have to go to school. So the stipulation is them wearing a mask, but whatever
Yeah,
makes certain parents feel safe, I guess, or feel better about it, whatever.
yeah, man. Wearing a mask isn't too big of a deal. There's a lot of people that are they get all up in arms about it. They get pretty riled up. I mean, if I got a mask on me, if I walk into a place and they say you need to put your mask on, okay, I'll put my mask on. No big deal. Fogs up
Yeah,
my glasses maybe a little bit. Maybe I have to smell my own stinking breath for the time I'm in the store. No big deal. But if I can walk around without the mask, that's fine too. Um, I'm I'm one of the people that went out and got a vaccine. So I got the vaccine, and I haven't. I think I only know maybe two other people that's willingly taken their time to go get the vaccine.
yeah,
And and now that I've done it, I'm like, it really feels like the vaccine thing was really worthless.
yeah. It
Like,
So I'll kind of tell you a situation at my work and what's going on.
yeah,
Uh, so with the whole mask, at first, my job like follows the CDC really close with the guidelines for work. So anytime the CDC changes, we fucking change.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just fucking exhausting. We followed it all the way up to the thing. I got my vaccine strictly for not to wear a mask at work. Because I knew down the road they were going to go, if you have your vaccine, you can opt out of wearing your mask. I knew that was going to come, so I was like, yeah, I'll get it. I'll be the bigger person and help out, and get the shot. So I did it, and then it rolled around that we didn't have to wear a mask, so I quit wearing it. Well, now as of recently, the cases are starting to skyrocket again. They're telling us we have to wear a mask again. I
Right.
don't have a problem wearing the mask. Well, I do, but I don't make it political. It's not because I'm right or I'm left. I don't like wearing it because my face is getting fucked up from it. And I'm tired of looking like I'm fucking 17 again. Like
Mm-hmm.
I have pimples, like my glasses are constantly fogged up. It's like first world problem shit, but
Sure.
I still just don't like it. Like, I don't think it, like, changes my breathing or any stupid shit like that, like some people might say. I
Mm-hmm.
just don't. And I'm the same way as you. Like, if I go in somewhere and someone asks me to put on my mask, I don't fucking say anything. I just do it. I don't. It's not a political thing, but I do know that a cloth mask does not help
Mm-hmm.
against the spread. It might do certain things, but it doesn't do what people want. So I just make people happy and not try to go against the grain when I can, because I'm always against the grain.
Sure.
So when I
Yeah.
can be with it, I try to.
Yeah. Yeah. I completely agree with your sentiment there. It really feels like the masks there was these people that would speak up and they would have videos and they would show you on thermal cameras that, hey, I've got a mask on and look at all this heat that's coming out of the mask. Like, it's literally no different if I didn't have the mask on. And they would do the thing like coughing and all this other shit, and it's like they kind of have a point. Like, and then people would say, well, the mask is catching all the particulates and stuff. But it's like, yeah, but in the thermal imaging, what's creating that heat is still vapor that's coming out of the lungs. It's not coming from anything else. So if it's coming out of the lungs, I don't know, man. It just seemed it really feels like the whole thing is blown out of proportion, and it kind of feels like a crock of shit. Um, and I'm not saying that because I'm a conspiracy theorist and I don't believe coronavirus is real or anything. I'm just saying it really makes me lose faith when I'm told you need to wear the mask because it's going to protect everybody else. And then they tell you everybody needs to get vaccinated because you need to protect yourself and other people. And then you get vaccinated. And then they say, well, now you don't have to wear the mask anymore because the mask didn't really work anyway, but now that you're vaccinated, you're good. And then they say, well, wait a minute, the vaccine doesn't actually work at all. It's not really helping anybody. You need to put the mask back on. And it's like, what the fuck am I going through this shit for?
Yeah, yeah, that's same. Um, and I understand the science behind the whole vaccine. It's just like the flu. They pick a random number of what strains they think are going to be in America that year. So if it's just like the flu shot, you get a flu shot that year, it doesn't guarantee you not getting the flu. All it does is help you not get it. I think that was the
Sure.
big misconception with the vaccine, was it was the end all be all, and that's what they said to us in the beginning was, hey, get this shot and you will be safe. So we're all like, hell yeah, let's do it.
Sure.
And then now they're like, oh yeah, well, it's actually more like the flu vaccine, where it's kind of like we just grab five and you might be fucking lucky. And it's like, well, that would have been nice to know in the front. I think a lot of people would have opted out if we would have
Mm-hmm.
known that in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I would have opted out ultimately, but and my wife brought up a point to me when I was bitching about it. She said part of the reason why the news that you're hearing, the guidelines keep changing and altering, is because the science is moving so fast and communication so fast. We're seeing science in development, like live, like day to day. We're seeing new case studies that they're doing or whatever. The scientists, the fucking lab technicians or whatever the fuck. And
Yeah.
I thought, man, that's something I haven't heard anybody else say, and I thought that
Yeah.
was super intelligent that she could break it to me like that, and it was like, holy shit, maybe I don't need to get all worked up about we need to wear masks today or we need to do something different, because if you believe in the greater good and you have faith in humanity, they're trying to do the best they can with what they've got, and if the best they can is new news, then maybe we can be flexible.
Yeah. No, that actually makes sense. That's big brain right there, dude. That's some big brain points to your
Yeah.
wife. Holy shit. I didn't even
Five,
think of that.
500 IQ.
Yeah, seriously. Hell yeah. That makes me feel better about it than knowing that that's probably why it's so flippy floppy. Because
Yeah,
it was more like making you mad, and now when it's like, oh shit, actually it's the
yeah.
science just rolling with it.
It's live. We're getting live updates from science that's getting validated like yesterday.
Yeah,
Instead of what we're taught in school, which is science that was discovered and validated, decades before. Like when me and you were in high school, we were taught out of books that were published 5 years ago.
right.
Now everybody gets live updates like the hour news happens around the globe.
Yeah. It's it's a very different world, that's for sure, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Don't mind
Well,
me, I'm hitting a dab, I'm sorry.
is that medical?
Yes.
Mm. Man, I'm so glad that you're able to get the medicine that you need. Do you got glaucoma?
No, I actually have a lot of PTSD and anxiety from trauma that I received as a child, and kind of fought with it with drugs, hard drugs as a teenager into a young adult, and
Mm.
medicated with that
Mm.
until I had to do something different, and then I finally was told by my job. My job was like, "Hey, we think this might be a really good step for you." They weren't like being negative about it. They were actually being like a really good job and like looking out for me. It was like, "We really think this would be good for you. You should look into it." And I did, and it was the best move ever because I was able to get off my Prozac. Some people might not agree it's the best thing, but it is a step forward, and I do feel better uh, day by day, for sure.
Prozac. When did you get off Prozac?
About almost a year ago now, when I started my medical marijuana card.
Hmm. Interesting. Well, I'm glad to hear that helps you, because I'm not against marijuana at all. I just can't. I can't do it because of my job. Um, Basically, they're living in 1997, so I've got to poison my body with hard alcohol to dull the pain that rips at my heart and tears at my soul. And I'm drinking tequila tonight.
Hell yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
You got to do what you got to do, right?
Every day.
Yeah. If I had my option, if I had my druthers, I wouldn't drink any alcohol for the rest of my life. And
Really?
instead maybe I would do some medical marijuana. But I mean, hey, my fucking knees hurt.
So your
I've got.
job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish and then
No,
I'll ask.
I was done. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. What is it with your job? Is it just that they're like stuck in their old ways of like pot bad and or like what is it exactly? Because I know like a lot of places are still just they're not wanting to take that step and be like accepting with it, and it's just because of the stigma behind it. And I think that honestly will take 40 years to happen.
It'll probably take quite a long time, yeah, but I think it has to do with the stigma behind it, yeah, but it's also all these policies that are built into the company, and what's legal here isn't legal in another state, or in another country, since the company I work for is global. They're not just local, you know. So it's part that, but it's also safety related, since I work with heavy machinery and I work with devices and instruments that number in the dozens of thousands of dollars that I could do damage to and destroy. They want to try to mitigate any responsibility whatsoever. So if I happen to go into work and crash a forklift through a wall and damage, several $100,000 worth of components and equipment, they can definitely pin all that on me if I come up hot on a drug test. It's pretty much a CYA on them is the way I take it.
Oh no, okay, so that makes sense, because that's
it's a safety deal.
Yeah.
It's a safety deal, but it's also a liability deal. So they will not be responsible, if
So
I
I'm
break
guessing
stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm guessing the reason why at my job, when people get hurt, they don't drug test is because they're not using like big machinery like at your job. Because
and maybe also the type of injury that you guys could get maybe is a cut finger, which is easily treatable. It may suck. Now, I don't know what all you do, but
yeah.
We're talking injuries that sometimes people die from at the place where I work. I mean, we've had several people unfortunately get wound up in a machine or get heavy equipment dropped on them or a forklift through the chest cavity, and they're done.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense, and I think that's probably it. Is like they don't want to have that liability.
Right. Yeah, and I can
Sucks.
understand that. But on the flip side, alcohol is totally legal.
So
it's
that's
not legal. It's not legal to drink and drive. It's not legal to come to work intoxicated on alcohol. But I can get drunk as fuck on Saturday night, wake up with a hangover on Sunday, and be fine to go to work on Monday.
okay. So that would mean that if it became completely recreational in your state, then it might be a thing in the future.
Maybe, but I doubt it. See, the problem with their drug testing, their limitation is they can't tell if you were if you imbibed the marijuana the minute before you clocked in, or if it was 2 weekends ago.
Right. With alcohol, there's a set period of when you would fail. When you're intoxicated, you piss hot. When you're not, you don't. So with pot, it lingers for 2 weeks. So yeah. Damn, that sucks, man.
Yeah, I think that's the big limiting factor on that. If they had a better way to test for marijuana, I think they could probably make some maneuvers to lighten up on their restrictions, but I mean, it is what it is currently.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of a rock that won't be moved for a while.
Yeah, I can't move it. Well, you been playing Tarkov at all lately?
Yeah, I've actually dabbled with it a little recently. So Tarkov, and I want to be real clear on this, because like my spill is gonna be, people are gonna be like, damn, he's really shitting on Tarkov. I love Tarkov. Yeah, I love Escape from Tarkov to death. Ever since the day you showed me the game, I've been captured by it. Like it's that game will forever have a spot in my heart because of the learning curve that I received from it. Dude, the night that I bought that game, I had the biggest fucking headache, and I fucking couldn't stand it. But the reason why is because I felt so dumb that it made me that mad, because I was like, not knowing anything, you just felt dumb. But it was that cool of a game. I was like, I have to learn how to play this game. This is my game.
Yeah, I remember the night I was like, dude, you just gotta stick with it, man. Okay, we died, but we'll go in again. No big deal. We'll learn some more stuff. And I remember that night you seemed very distant, I'm not really caring about it. You kind of were disinterested. And then the next day I noticed you were on, And I asked you, hey, what have you been doing? You been playing the game? And you said, yeah, I've been playing it all night. Like you played it all night. And that
Yeah.
this may have been like 2 days later though. But you said you'd been up all night. And this was in the morning. I'm like, dude, you need to get some rest, man. And you go, no, man, I've been lost in the sauce.
Dude, that game. Okay, so and that's the thing is like I'm gonna do a lot of hating on it, and it's because of the potential that it has is
Yeah.
why is the fuel of the hate, right?
Yeah.
Is the
Yeah.
love that I have for the game and that the game that I know it could be and that what I thought it was gonna be is why I'm so salty about it.
Sure.
Uh,
Let's get
and
into it.
I still play this game. Yeah. So the whole thing is like it's been way too long for whatever stage it's in. Uh,
Yeah.
like I'll start like with real good things with Tarkov. Tarkov is the best combat simulation you'll ever experience. If you want a game to capture you and literally put you in a war zone,
Immersive.
it's that game. Yeah, it's maybe not like a 50 on 50, but like an actual immersive, like a combat scenario with you and your buddies. It's that game because there's no tags. There's no you can see who's your buddy. There's no
Mini
second
map.
life. It's and that's the one of the faults to the game too is it's they try to be so realistic and I like it and it's like them trying to balance it.
Hmm.
uh Man, it's hard because like I still can jump into it and have a better adrenaline rush from that game than any other game out on the market, but I just get taken away because it feels like it's in the same game and that maybe they put in a few weapons and a map, but like progression of the actual game of the picture of what we expect out of it is just not there. It's not what we envisioned, I guess.
Yeah. I
It's
mean, of
hard to me to
course.
put it in words. I don't know. I thought I could, but it's almost hard for
Oh,
me
oh,
because I love the game so much. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
yeah. I mean, feel free to say whatever you want. Hey, actually, what I'm going to say right now is I reserve the right to be wrong and to change my mind about any of my opinions that I present here. And as soon as I'm presented with new information, I can rearrange the way I understand the world or the video game. Like I'm not at my discretion. I will change my opinion if I'm presented with new information, and I think you agree. You feel the same way, probably.
Yeah, no,
So so
absolutely. That I'm
so
the same way.
so so I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna talk some shit about Tarkov because there's some things that I fucking hate about it. But if you're like, wait a minute, the thing that you're pissed off about is a non-issue because of this, this, and this, or whatever. It's like, okay, now that I understand that, I'll take that into consideration. Maybe it's really not a big deal, and that's okay because I'm not gonna have an opinion and then go down with the ship on that opinion because
Yeah,
this game is still in development and they're still changing it and they still have the ability to make the greatest game ever played.
absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with that. And you know me, I'm really stuck in my ways, but once you show me the facts, I will not just sit there and stay with the wrong side. I'll flop. Like, for instance, the monitor. I thought the whole 60 FPS was bullshit, and now I have a, a 140 hertz monitor in front of me that I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, I
Uh,
can't believe you remember that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the truth. When I get shown the real way, I won't lie to myself. That's one thing of, you get shown a way and you get shown the facts. It's either get with it or look like an idiot. So,
You got a better memory than I give you credit for because I figured you forgot all about that.
uh,
But yeah, the human eye doesn't see in 24 frames a second. That was the myth that we busted for anybody listening. It was about a 24-hour discussion, I think.
yeah, I was stuck in it for a little bit.
But we got past it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tarkov. They've got a lot. BSG and Nikita, they have a lot left to do. And the thing that irritates me is we don't have a vertical slice of the game yet. So the game has been in beta test, quote unquote beta test, for going on 5 years. This is unheard of because everybody that is in a beta test, normally the beta test only lasts a month and the game is going to be coming out in like 3 months. This game is in alpha. It's been in alpha since they announced it was in beta, and I don't know why they made the decision to make the designation change of the state of the game. But I think what I'm trying to say here is vertical slice. So they say, hey, we're going to have all these features in. Well, we don't even see a little bit of those features. We see several building blocks of complete, almost feature complete sections of the foundation of the castle they're building, but we don't see one whole spire all the way up to the roof yet. And that's the point. That's the thing that really irritates me.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I think also was like, I don't know, it's not more or less like broken promises, but just like I know, like just seeing what is there, I know they could do it. It's more or less, I felt like they felt like they've cashed out and they're working on a new project. But maybe I'm wrong.
Man, I don't know if they're working on a new project, but they've talked about another project before. They want to make a single player only Escape from Tarkov game. And Nikita's talked about it. He said that was going to be their passion project, but to get funding for that game, they had to do something in between. So they came up with this concept of Escape from Tarkov that was set in the same universe that was going to be the multiplayer version of the single-player story-driven game.
Oh, really? So that's stuff I did not know.
Yeah, so there's a chance that they could be working on that single-player game on the side, and they're not talking about it, and they're spending a lot of time on it. And they plan to release it like 3 years from now or something. I don't know, man. But I know they've raked in bukus of amounts of money, like a tremendous amount of money. They have sold so many fucking pre-orders. That's what we got. We got pre-orders of the game Tarkov. They have sold so fucking many, dude. I don't know where all the money goes because they're communist. But dude, they're seeing the capitalist side of how you can, of what type of system you can be a part of. And they have raked in the fucking dough, let me tell you.
Right. Dude, you got to think about it. It's not, their game isn't like a normal AAA game at $60 a pop. It's what, EOD 140?
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
Right, for their biggest supporter package that you pledge to them, you pledge your money and your allegiance to BSG, then you will get the Gamma container in the game, not pay to win, for sure. $140.
Yeah.
But they give you a little taste of that crack, and then you can't stop smoking it.
No. And it's just like, even if they would like branch things and just do more of it, it's lackluster, man. The movement on it has died. Like, compared to when I bought the game and to now, they were pumping out shit left and fucking right. And then I can't even pinpoint when, but it just blah. It's almost like that one wipe where everyone is when the wipe meme started. I will never be able to pinpoint it, but there was a wipe that got delayed more than any other wipe for the first time, and that was the start of the meme of that. I feel like that's like was the beginning of when I felt like everything has become just a giant fucking meme almost with them.
Yeah. Nikita likes memes, and he likes it when the community, that are rabid fans, by the way, come up with new memes every day. He loves it.
Yeah, I would like to see the game one day be finished to where like you could jump in it and go from map to map like they said they promised. That's like where I want to see the game. Is like, I don't care about their stupid fucking arenas. I want to see what they said on their roadmap when I bought the game to be somewhat kind of there. Because, like, at the end of the day, yeah, it sucks that it's still where it was in alpha. But it's like the only game me, you, and other buddies can jump in and really feel like we're in an actual war zone. And we're there with each other. I don't think there's going to be a game that will be able to capture that unless they literally just rip off Tarkov and add stuff to it. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it.
I think there's plenty of games that are taking notes on Tarkov, and they're trying to replicate that same sort of feel. I want to say that that Tarkov is actually has created its own subgenre. I think there's plenty of games, I can't name them right now, but there's plenty of other games that are being described as Tarkov-likes.
Yeah, and that's going to be good. That's going to be good for the industry. And that's like the point where I'm at with games. Tarkov is one of those games that I got such a good adrenaline off of that I almost feel like any other game I can't compare it to it. Even though I'm not looking for that in every game. I'm not looking to get an adrenaline rush, but it's just like how well that it captured me in the beginning of it. The only other game I can really do that with is WoW, but that's because I have a 12-year bond with it. You know what I mean? It's a lot different than Escape from Tarkov. So.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, man. I'm with you.
I hope the best for Tarkov because, like, the other day, I jumped on my scab. I booted up my stream just to have it recorded because I didn't really want to open up my fucking thing, my other thing, whatever it is. My NVIDIA, so I just clicked that on because it can record it online and it's not saved to my hard drive, so I don't have to worry about space. I went in there and I killed 2 PMCs and then found an SA-58 on the ground fully decked out and fucking mashed out with it, got to the exit, and got killed by an exit camper. And I wasn't even mad, but it's just like, that's like the feel of the game now. It's like if you're not there at the beginning of the wipe to have the fun, then you're going to get shit on by exit campers and beefy boys the rest of the wipe until you catch up. So, and because there's no game, it's just like literally them just doing the same shit every day. I don't know. No end content.
Yeah, there's very little in-game content, and what doesn't help is it's the same fucking tasks, wipe after wipe after wipe, in the exact same order. I mean, they've added some tasks here and there. They beefed it up a little bit, but all the tasks, like 95% of the tasks are go to this area and kill this many whatever on this map with this gun, or go to this map and find this many of this item and turn it in.
Yeah. Like, and let's be honest.
Yeah.
The first time it was cool. The second time it was like, what the fuck? The third time it's like, this shit sucks.
Yeah.
Like, some of the tasks is fucking ridiculous. And absurd.
They are pretty dumb. Like you got to get headshots at 100 meters on PMCs on 4 different maps or whatever.
Yeah, man. Come on. Like, why don't you make it cool? Like, there's so many cool things that you could do with quests instead of, like, dumb fucking shots. Like, there's plenty of things, man.
Yeah, like what? Give me an example.
I mean, like, finding a certain thing at a certain time and talking, like, anything that doesn't have to do with just shooting someone. I feel like it's always shooting someone with some weapon. Yeah. With a lot of things. Yeah, there are other quests that you grab certain things here, but I feel like it would be a lot better if there was, like, more interaction shit to make it more of a survival type-esque feel to it than just you go in and slay 20 scabs and grab their 3 shotguns out of it.
Yeah.
It just feels not
It's like it didn't take very much work for somebody to dream that up.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take
like,
very
put
much
more
work
thought into it.
Right. So one of the things I was thinking was, we have some quests in the game where you have to, well, used to a long time ago, you had to go in and kill bears instead of just any PMC. You had to go in and kill bears specifically. And I think they've changed that since then, because the problem is a lot of people play USEC because there's more people that speak English in the world that play Tarkov than there are people that speak strictly Russian. So, you know, those Russian players want to play as bears because they can understand what they're saying, and anybody who speaks English would rather kind of play as the English-speaking USEC because then they know what the characters are saying when you mumble, right?
Right.
So, but the one of the things I was dreaming up in my mind was, what if you had faction-specific quests? Like, I want to say that the traders specifically have kind of an attitude towards USEC or towards bears. So let's say Peacekeeper really likes USEC, and he doesn't really like bear. And he'll give bears some quests and stuff, but he's going to give USEC more quests, different quests.
Right.
If you're a USEC character. And maybe the same thing with Proper. Maybe Proper likes bear, and he don't like the American-speaking USEC so much. So this is the idea. How about Peacekeeper gives the USEC some C4, or he sells the C4 and he says, I need you to bust into this room on interchange, but you have to plant the bomb. And you need to plant the bomb, but you have to get far enough away from it so you don't kill yourself or whatever. You can't trigger the bomb. The bomb will go off at the end of the raid. You have to, when the raid's over. But then Proper gives quests to bears saying, I don't want that motherfucker to get into that hidden room. We have it locked up. He's been trying to get USECs to blast into the room. Bears, if you find any C4 on this wall, cut the wires. So you have a group of bears that go into the, like, hey man, let's go hit Kiba, let's go kill Killa or whatever. Like, I can't fucking kill Killa, but let's go kill some scabs. And while on the way, let's swing by that one room, that one wall, see if there's any C4 there. Because if I clip the wire, I can turn the quest in, and I can get some, because it's like a repeatable quest. Right. And it happens through the whole wipe. And then halfway through the wipe, maybe the wall finally comes down and that quest is no longer available to anybody. The wall finally gets blown through, and now all the PMCs can get into that extra spot in the map.
Yes, dude. See, that's some really good shit. That's like taking things that are from like MMOs, like WoW and Final Fantasy and RuneScape,
right,
and putting it there. Not even that. It's any game that I guess it's like a sandbox attribute.
Or any game that has like community quests, like, hey, we have a week for everybody to, like in Elite Dangerous, hey, we need people to drop off power crystals to this station in this system. You know, if you contribute, then you get a bonus at the end of the event. You get money credits. But if you contribute a fuckload, then you get bumped up in the tier of contributors and you get a heftier payout.
Yeah.
That's the idea is the exact same. The only difference is that we've washed it in the destruction and the gritty post-apocalyptic world of Tarkov. You're not delivering power crystals to a power station. You're trying to either A, blow into a wall so that you can access a point later, presumably in the story, or you're trying to defuse all that shit to get the bonus.
No, that's 10 times better than that, because then you, like, all the USECs like have pride of being a USEC, right? And all the bears will like want to work together and get after the USECs more, and that would like create things inside of raids that would be not dynamic, because you wouldn't always just want to kill a PMC when you see him, because then you know that, you know, it could be a fucking USEC or a bear. Like, there would just be so many things that could start factoring in from having quests like that would start bleeding in. Because you'd be like, dude, if we work together, we could make bank. Let's do this. Yeah. So, it's a good thing.
And they could also do like we already have plant missions, right? Where there's the famous one from Peacekeeper where you have to drop off the sniper rifle at the boat in the shoreline, and you have to put in the multi-tool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what if the other opposing faction, whatever, you get Skier says, "Hey, I need you to go into this location, and I need you to check for a package that's hidden underneath the boat." Or whatever. Maybe not the same thing. But you have one of the traders that's planting stuff for another trader to pick up because they're trading shit back and forth. And like one person's the drop off. Like maybe you get the quest yesterday to drop it off, and maybe I get the quest today to pick it up.
Gotcha.
And just like randomly in the raid, you go by there and you like, hey, there's no package here. So you try again next raid. The package is here. I got to get out with it. I can turn it in and make some money. You know.
Yeah. No, I think that's like more of what anything in that type of direction would be better than just the same thing and like I know that they've changed it a few times, maybe even more than a few times, to where it's like in different set orders, or they changed the quest around, added things, blah blah blah. But dude, it's still the same quest. Like at the end of the day, those are still the same, however many they are, with a few different changes, and that's it.
Yeah. I don't know what it would look like if they rearranged it. Like maybe if they were to take all of those go fetch quests that don't seem to like, to me, doesn't really seem like there's a quest line, like a quest string or whatever. Because sometimes in MMOs and stuff, there's a quest string. There's like 5 of them together, and they kind of tell a whole story if you pay attention. I don't know how many of them are like that, but it almost feels like you could probably just use those as like cards in a deck and just shuffle them. And like every time you start a new character, like if we were to wipe our characters now and get on and play, the game automatically randomizes and shuffles all the missions. So like maybe your first mission from Therapist won't necessarily be, hey, you need to find me 3 Salewas in raid, like it is for everybody right now. Maybe your first mission from her is you've got to find the document in the blue van.
Yeah.
You know. And for me, maybe my first mission isn't the debut mission where I got to kill 5 scavs on customs and collect some shotguns. Maybe my first mission is planting something on shoreline. So you don't know, we don't know, like I know what quest comes up after her next one that I finish, because I've played the first 10 quests on each of the traders. I've done it fucking 6 or 7 times. Yeah, and I don't know what it would look like if we could randomize it, but if they could randomize it, I think that'd be going a long way and a good step in the right direction.
Yeah, no, definitely. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like I still get on Tarkov. It's not all the time. I wish it was all the time, to be honest, but I try. I'll keep trying it. Yeah, I get a little bit bitter more each time I think about it, but I don't think I'll ever just be able to like completely quit playing it, because it's a lot of fun, man. We have a lot of really good times on it.
Yeah, I think it has been the thing that has harbored and created a lot of really good memories that you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you want to play rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was good times. So that stream that you uploaded, that you recorded, you died at the end at the extract.
At 0.
I watched it. Yeah, I watched it several times. I don't understand where you're getting shot from.
Me neither, because like I hid my legs, right? That's the thing. Like I was talking about. I don't remember who I was talking about this, but so I got killed by the guy that was laying down on the body that I thought was dead. Right? I should have shot the fucking body like I normally do, and it kills me every time when I'm like, oh, he's dead. I'm all right. and I saw him move, and then I even looked at him and was like, man, I'm pretty sure I saw this fucking thing move, and I should have shot it, but whatever. And then when I was getting shot at, I acted like I didn't know where it was coming from, when I knew exactly where it was coming from. So, and then I lined up my body to where there's no way he could kill me, but the only thing I thought of is that he gave me a heavy bleed, and I didn't seal it, and I just died from health.
Maybe.
Is what happened.
That could have been what happened, but he was still shooting at you. I thought he hit you.
He might have hit me. He might have hit me. I don't know at the end if it shows, like, when you die, if it shows from, like, a shot or if it's from a bleed out. That's a good thing I don't know about. I haven't played enough.
Man, I really didn't understand where he was. If he hit you at the end, it's like, was he shooting through the whole fucking train? Like, what happened?
Yeah, it could have been some fishy shit too, you know? Who knows?
I was thinking it was actually somebody off in the woods. I thought it was somebody shooting.
And that's what I thought. I thought it was someone over by the hidden stash that killed all those bodies. It was maybe the only other option, and that was hidden over, because it sounded like that, because you saw me look that way, right? Whenever he first started shooting at me, I looked to the left because I heard his muzzle from the silencer, because if you play enough Tarkov, you get that feel to where you hear the muzzle fly, like the muzzle from the silencer, that's where it's coming from, not the pop of where the fire, like the crack or whatever it's called, of the bullet hitting the objects. Because that's what I like about that game. They do a good job with that. And so I think that's where he could have been, and that's how he killed me at the end. And if that's where I got shot, which is unfortunate, because I thought I got out, man. I was like, please, please, come on.
Damn.
Oh, man. It was a scav run. It was good, though. I let him have it with that fucking 133, though. Those two guys, they got a taste of the old scabby boy, for sure.
Hell yeah. Speaking of scavs. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, because I was about to change gears. Finish your thought.
No, well, I was just saying that's the thing, is like, you can always get out of Tarkov. It's like, you can have fun, you know what I mean? And they just need to build off of it. I don't know.
Yeah, they need to. I don't know what the fuck it is they're doing. It's like I was telling you the other day, man. 2 years ago, I was like, I have 100% faith. They're over there working their fucking ass off. They're fretting, trying to make it work. They're building this thing on a game engine that isn't meant for games like this. I mean, they're doing it on Unity, and from what I understand, Unity really isn't known for doing badass games like this. And I just had full faith that they were really putting forth all their effort and making smart decisions. And it's like, after seeing some of the bugs and getting disillusioned by some of the dumb shit that they haven't finished or accomplished or fixed yet, and how slow the development has gone, I hate to be a shitty individual and be like, those guys are sitting over there with their thumb up their ass. But, man, it's hard not to think, what the fuck are they doing over there? You know?
Yeah.
Because there just isn't a whole lot.
I honestly, that's the thing, is like, my only thought is they have to be working on a different game. It's just, there's no, unless they're just like so stumped with their code being so fucked, trying to fix whatever they're fixing, that it's too stringy to like fix it, and they're breaking more shit than fixing. I don't know, man. But I'm not a coder. So I'm like, I've done basic shit, but I don't know. I've never done gaming stuff like that, so I can't speak for that. I don't know exactly what's going on.
Sure. Yeah. Well, what do you think about the scav karma?
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. Care to elaborate?
So I feel like it's been a thing that's needed to happen, because we've always been at a point where it's felt like you always have that, well, there's a fucking scab being a scab, you know what I mean?
Yeah, scab on scab.
I'll elaborate a little bit better, is like, there's no repercussions when it comes to a scav when going in there. So it's like, even if a scav has a pistol with no armor, or he is fully kitted out, there's like no repercussions for him for any of his actions, so he doesn't have to like have any type of loyalty to anything. And it creates a type of a weird type situation, because they try to make it like their purpose is for the scavs to work together, and if they work together, you would actually be able to do a lot more crazier shit together than if you just went like, fuck you, kill each other, get the best gun, and then try to kill the PMCs. Because most of the time PMCs are going to come in together, right? You'll have a few guys that are like by themselves, but for the most part, Tarkov is played as like a group, I think.
Meant to be played as a group.
Yeah. And so it's like a big handicap to want to kill all your buddies and be by yourself, when if y'all all worked together and then fought them as a squad, it would be one hell of a fucking fight. That's just like the first aspect of it, right? That's just like making it a better PvP experience. The next part is like for the actual like them getting hurt. I think that needs to happen, because it's just dumb to me to not have like just be able to scumbag anybody at any time and have no repercussions to it. I just don't get what's the point of that. It's not appealing at all. It's been a thing with us to where, like, when I go in as a scav, I literally will eyeball scavs to death, and I die to it because I don't like being that scumbag. But most people are already past that point to where they're like, they're going to be the scumbag, so I'm just going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's the only way to fix it, is to put a way to actually stricken the person and like put some type of vengeance towards the action that they did. There has to be some type of penalty, man. You can't just do that. And I don't know. I can't really say it like the right way, but it's a thing that needs to happen, or they need to rework how the scav is played.
Right. Yeah, there's some flavor text that pops up on the loading screen. It says something about scavs are the remnants of whatever civilian riffraff is left in the area after the whole Norvinsk region locked down, and they're the ones who are left, and it's a dog-eat-dog world, and they won't hesitate to stab each other in the back for a loaf of bread or some shit. And then here we are playing a game where all the AI work together, and they all love each other. They're not stabbing each other in the back, because the AI don't do that. They only want to stab you in the back. And then we have players that also join that faction, player scavs. And up until recently, you rarely be able to work with them, because they want to kill every other player because they're afraid they're going to get killed, and they're trying to get out with as much loot as they can get, and they will shoot some AI scav on the way out to take their shit too. And that's just it almost seems like that's maybe kind of the way it should be, really, with their flavor text that they have that splash up on the screen. However, it's a problem in the player community. A lot of people are pissed off about it. They fucking get tired of getting killed by scavs. So BSG has implemented Scav Karma, which is supposed to hopefully curve the amount of scav-on-scav violence that happens, and it's to promote a little bit of more working together. And guess what? It has. They knocked it out of the park. That's absolutely what they've achieved. To the nines. Like, I went into a scav raid the other day, and the first player scav I saw didn't even wiggle at me, ran up to me and threw me some shit out of his backpack, and then waved and ran off. Never happened to me before. Never. So the Scav Karma thing has given the player base some reason not to kill in sight. But
is it in the game right now?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, scav karma's been in the game since last wipe.
Oh. Oh. That's why I
Yeah.
haven't been able to play my scav, huh?
I don't know about that. You should be able to play
So
just
what is
fine.
the penalty? What's the penalty?
If you kill another scav, you lose karma points, and when you lose karma points, Fence the trader, his cost of his goods will go up by a multiplier of a percentage for you specifically, and at a certain threshold, you start getting less and less good gear as starting with the player scav. Like your next player scav, if you're a bad scav, you're a dirty guy, you keep killing scavs and stuff, then you're only going to wind up going in with a Makarov and maybe a small chest rig with no meds and no bullets and no extra, no nothing. Like maybe just a Makarov with the magazine that's in it. But if you're a good boy scav and you work together and you don't exploit your AI brethren and you play good with other scavs, you earn karma every time you extract. And you earn karma every time you shoot a bad player scav that killed another scav and you kill him. You gain karma points, and once your karma points hits a certain threshold, you can get loyalty level 2 from Fence, and Fence's loyalty level 2 goods are insured items that players didn't redeem. Like their player stuff that got lost in raid. Like if they go MIA, or if they ditch it and they forgot that they didn't insure it, or if they didn't claim their insurance return. So their stuff starts going up on Fence, and you as a player can buy that stuff. Also, car extracts increase or decrease depending on your reputation, your scav karma.
So the player base is upset at it being implemented?
No, they're not upset. They're I would say that they're taking advantage of it because there's no reason to do scav on scav violence anymore. So if you go into a raid and you find a player scav, do a wiggle at them, they'll wiggle at you back, and you guys can be homies for the rest of the raid. Like 96% of the time.
Damn, so now it's like the opposite side of the spectrum.
It's like it's like there is no in between ground. There is no middle ground. It's either before it was fucking it was like kill on sight, and now it's like you can't fight scavs. And if you're a player that's concerned about your scav karma, let's say you enter a scav raid, you've got 14 minutes left in interchange. What are you going to do? You're going to run around and loot up some stuff? But you can't kill a scav to get his backpack because you don't have a backpack, right? How do you get a backpack? Well, you don't. Because if you kill a scav, then your scav karma is going to go down, and it's just going to perpetuate. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. So for you to maintain the high level of scav karma, you have to be a good boy scav, and basically that means you leave the raid with less and less shit.
You know how you fix that?
How?
You know how you solve the situation?
How?
You only implement karma when killing a player scav.
Yeah, man. Maybe that's the way you do it. I mean, maybe they could do it that way. But if you reach max, or maybe how about it's less points if you kill AI scav than a player scav, like against you. If you reach max positive karma for a scav, you can hang out with the scav boss. Like right now, if you went into gas station on customs and Rashala was there, he'd shoot you in the face, and so would his buddies. But if you had max karma, you could hang with them and chill with them and give them backup. In the game right now. So PMC karma is supposed to be coming up. I don't even have any idea what that's supposed to look like.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's kind of like the opposite side of the spectrum. I don't know. That's the only...
I guess you haven't been really keeping up with the Tarkov news?
No, I've been balls deep in fucking WoW for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've done some stuff. I mean, they've implemented some stuff. They rolled out the cultists, and I've yet to see a cultist in the game. They did the woods expansion, made the woods bigger. Yeah, I don't know. I could take it or leave it. Yeah, I don't know. I really feel like there's more major parts of the game that they really need to be working on to implement, but inertia's coming up, so they're going to be putting inertia in the game. That basically means you can't turn on a dime anymore. And if it works the way I think it's going to work, you can't AD strafe so fucking fast anymore. There will be like a, I don't know what other game does it. Oh, Scum kind of has inertia.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yeesh.
Yeah,
that's a big thing in Scum that like really hindered it was the movement.
Well, they did
like
that in an effort to make it realistic or whatever.
Yeah. Huh. I don't know about that, man. That's like the thing that like I like realistic, but there's a limit to where it's like not fun anymore. I don't know how to explain that. Because there's gonna be people that think that's fun, but that's like too. I feel like that's gonna really hurt the game, but we'll see.
Yeah, keep in mind that there's people out there that said reloading your magazines in raid one bullet at a time is gonna ruin the game, and it didn't. It added to the immersion of the game, made it better. And there's people that said medical animations, if you can remember what it was like before medical animations, they said, and medical animations absolutely is going to ruin the game. And it didn't. It only made it better. Yeah. So I'm willing to, if I had money to bet, I'd be willing to bet that inertia would actually make the game better. It'd make it to where it'd make it to where you can't just like fucking sprint upstairs and do a 180 turn or a 90 degree turn one way and then 180 degrees the other way down a hallway, and you know,
with like 80 pounds of gear and a fucking 30-pound gun on your fucking arms.
Sure, right, exactly. Yeah, I think it would go a big step in the direction to make it more tactical, where you have to choose what you're going to do and how you're going to move. It's going to slow things down, which is what Nikita wants. He wants the game to be, super critical, and everything is. You need to try to consider all the options before you just run and gun. Like that's what Nikita wants.
Yeah. We'll see. That's a hard place for it to. I mean, you're probably right. It probably will be better. I'm just gonna have to see. But I would just like to see them put more work in. I think I'm being a little too rough on them because honestly, when I played, the game was small. It wasn't known. Small player base, so they got a lot of shit done. Now they popped 100%. Off. They have a fuckload of people all over them. There's probably a lot more shit that we don't even know about that could be going on.
Yeah.
But they are swimming in fucking money.
They should be swimming in fucking money, for sure.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'll be swimming in money once this podcast thing takes over. I'm Protodead. That was Sins, and this was a really, really nice, long, interesting conversation. And there's a part 2. This is part 1. Thank you for making it all the way to the end. If you want to check out part 2, it'll be uploaded sometime in the very near future on the channel. So subscribe to stay tuned and check that out. Give me a like if you liked it. Give me a thumbs down if you fucking hated it. Give me a comment. Get engaged. Let me know what you think about these podcasts here and what you might like to see on a future podcast. I'm Protodead. He was Sins. And we'll catch you on the flip-flop.